Remember, all I'm offering is the truth.
Now there was a woman named Alice Bailey who founded the Lucius Trust, which is the publishing house which prints and disseminates United Nations material. This connection shows the New Age and pagan nature of the UN and the New World Order. Lucius Trust was established in 1922 as Lucifer Trust by Alice Bailey, which disseminates the books of Bailey and Helena Blavatsky. Bailey changed the name to Lucius Trust because Lucifer Trust revealed the true nature of the New Age movement too clearly. Lucius Trust is sponsored by, among others, Robert McNamara, former Minister of Defense in the USA, President of the World Bank, and member of the Rockefeller Foundation, and Thomas Watson of IBM, former ambassador to Moscow. Lucius Trust's sponsors, among others, are the following organizations: the UN, Greenpeace International, Greenpeace USA, Amnesty International, and the UNICEF.
Our topic for today: preparing for the coming age. Before we explore this topic, I'd like to say a few words about our film. Some words about our film. The new era is coming. The new ideals, the new civilization, new modes of life, education, religious practices, and government are slowly precipitating, and nothing can stop them. What exactly makes the New Age new?
That's a good question. We hear the term so often, New Age, without probably most of us really knowing what is meant by that. Maybe we should begin by saying what the Old Age was. We're still living in the remnants of the Old Age, I believe, and I think most people familiar with the ageless wisdom would agree. This is said to be the last 2,000, perhaps 2,500 year period governed by, if you're astrologically inclined, Pisces.
The task of our generation, whether we are religious people or secular people, is to build a global community where people of all persuasions can live together in peace and harmony.
If you have a vision of a better world, if you have a vision of how you might contribute to that world, if you have a vision of how people around the world might work together to help create that better world, this is a place for you.
URI has made a start. Now, we need your help. Help us strengthen our infrastructure. We want to establish offices in 8 regions of the world and build a vibrant communications network to support peace builders everywhere. We want to double our presence and impact.
In this new world, how religious faith develops will have a profound impact. The forces shaping this world at this moment are so strong, and they all tend in one direction. They are opening the world up. Faith is especially important, not least because most religions were global even before political and economic systems were. If people of faith reach out to one another, learn to coexist, believe in respecting the other, they can play an important part in reducing that fear and tension, being proud of their own distinctive religious and often cultural identity, but open and in amity towards those of a different religion. Alternatively, religious faith could be used to bolster, to promote, to intensify the very clash of civilizations we seek to avoid. That is why it matters to those of different faiths and those of none to have a powerful interfaith encounter, precisely because such an encounter symbolizes and enacts a world of coexistence, not exclusion. In fact, I would widen the argument still further. I believe faith can transform and humanize the impersonal forces of globalization.
Three great world religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all place sovereignty in only one location, namely in God. We all are aware of the excesses of religion in regard to your topic. Do you think that world religions have some positive role in the coming of what you call a global nation?
Absolutely, yes. Religion has played a very ambiguous role in the Great Experiment. On the one hand, it is the great unifier. But I hope I'm right about this. My sense is that there is, in this country, in the American religious community, a new constructive and ecumenical spirit of helping out on highly secular issues, including that of climate change. And I certainly have the sense that there is a lot similar going on at a global level. Unfortunately, it hasn't been translated into political action and community relations.
The mistakes that human beings make is believing that there is only one way to live, that we don't accept that there are diverse ways of being in the world, that there are millions of ways to be a human being, and many ways, but many paths to what you call God. And her path might be something else, and when she gets there, she might call it the light.
There are certainly many more paths to God other than Christianity. What I believe is that Jesus came to show us Christ consciousness.
There couldn't possibly be just one way. What about Jesus? What about Jesus?
A new study says the news media have been pushing a gospel of godlessness on the American public. The Media Research Center's Culture and Media Institute looked at broadcast news, the 3 leading news magazines, and National Public Radio. They found that 80% of feature stories about atheism and atheists had a positive tone. None of the feature stories were negative, and most Christian-themed stories included atheist counterpoints or were written from an atheist perspective.
And for more on this story, we're joined from Washington by Robert Knight, director of the Media Research Center's Culture and Media Institute. And Robert, your group's study calls print and broadcast news outlets, quote, apostles of atheism. How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, we looked at the coverage in 2007, and we concluded that the media gave the atheists in the United States a free ride, pretty much.
The Bible can be very steamy.
Is the sacred book a sex manual or scripture?
People are always shocked about all the things they find in the Bible.
Sex in the Bible, tonight at 10:30 on the History Channel.